Hello viewers, yes, this is Ranjana ma'am and you are watching. Yes, it's mine as well as your channel. And you know that of late I have not been uploading any videos. I've given you the reason why. But since your exams are very close and many of you are depending on my video, so you have written in the comments. So that is why I'm back here again to complete Macbeth. So today in this video, I'll be doing Act 5, Scene 4, Scene 5 and Scene 6 since all these are short ones. So what are we waiting for? But before we start, you know what's coming. If you have not subscribed to my channel up till now, please do. And don't forget to press the like button. So let's start with Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 4. So this scene takes place in a country near Dunsinane. A wood in view, so a wood is visible. Enter with drum and colours. So this is the English force. Malcolm, Old Seward and his son Macduff, Menteith, Caithness, Angus, Lennox, Ross and soldiers marching. So all the ones who have left, all the lords who have left Macbeth's side and they had been waiting for the English forces to arrive, they have joined the English forces under the leadership of Malcolm. They are loyal to the King's son, Menteith, Caithness, Angus, Ross and all of them. Malcolm, cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe. So Malcolm, poor fellow, he had to leave his throne and run away because of Macbeth. But now he has got support and he is full of courage. He has come back to Scotland to get back his kingdom. So he says that he is addressing cousins. By this he is talking of Old Seward. So he says, cousins, I hope the days are near at hand. So he is now at this moment being optimistic. He says that it seems that the days are close when we will be sleeping in our chambers in a safe manner. See, Duncan, the king, had been murdered in his room, and that also in Macbeth's castle. But now he feels that they will be able to sleep safely. The time is coming. That means once the usurper Macbeth is killed, everything will return to normalcy. We doubt in nothing. So Menteith is of the opinion that yes, they don't have any doubts that once Macbeth is thrown out, he is killed, everything will be safe. What wood is this before us? So Seward is new to Scotland. So he is pointing towards the wood and saying, what wood is this? The wood of Burnham. Let every soldier hew him down. So this is Malcolm's plan. Let every soldier hew him down a bow and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the number of our host and make discovery err in report of us. So quite a clever plan of Malcolm. So he tells his soldiers that let all of you should cut a branch of this tree and carry it in front of you. This is what he orders his soldiers. Why? Because he says if we do this, we will be able to hide the number of our troops. That means how many soldiers are in our troop, that will remain hidden or concealed. So it will be assumed that it is a tree unless it comes so close that the person who is watching, the guard who is watching from Macbeth's castle, will realize that no, it is not the wood. The wood cannot move. So it must be the soldiers. But it would be too late. So it would seem that the woods are moving. Remember the prophecy of the witches, or rather the master of the witches, their guides, what had they said? That Macbeth need not fear till Burnham Woods move to Dunsinane. And he had scoffed at the idea. He had thought that I'm invincible, because how can woods move? But this is what Malcolm is planning. If each soldier cuts the branch of a tree and puts it in front, the woods would seem to be moving. Soldiers, it shall be done. So in this way, the spies of Macbeth, they will be giving erroneous report to Macbeth. They wouldn't be able to guess the total number of soldiers. How many soldiers are marching towards Dunsinane? So soldiers agreed to do it. Seward, we learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane and will endure our setting down before it. So old Seward, he says that he has not received any other report than the tyrant. By tyrant he refers to Macbeth, that Macbeth is still at this moment in his castle in Dunsinane, and in this case he will allow us to surround the castle, lay a siege on the castle. Malcolm, it is his main hope, for where there is advantage to be gone, both more or less have given him the revolt, and none serve him but constrained things whose hearts are absent too. So Malcolm says Dunsinane is his main hope. Why? Because it is a well-fortified castle. So he has hope that once, so long as I am in Dunsinane, I am safe. So he says that the people, the seniors as well as the juniors, the subordinates as well as the seniors, those who have had the chance to revolt against him, they have done. And now the soldiers who are serving him also, they are serving because they are restrained or they are forced to serve him. But they don't do with their hearts. That means the duty or the obligation, they are doing it on account of this, not on account of love for Macbeth or honor or respect for him. Maybe in their heart of their hearts they hate him. But since he is paying them, they are doing the job. Let our just censures attend the true event and put we on industrious soldiership. Who says this? Macduff. So he says, in order to prove our judgment true, let's await the outcome of our effort. What does he mean by this? That in order that our judgment, that means Macbeth has not many people to help him in the fight. This is what, let it be proved true. And put we on industrious soldiership. So let us fight the battle as industrious soldiers. That means give our wholehearted effort in the battle. Industrious soldiership. Let us fight in an industrious manner. Seward, the time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative their unsure hopes relate, but certain issue strokes must arbitrate towards which advances the war. So this is the last speech of this scene. In this scene, I told you it is a very short scene. So in this scene, Seward, the uncle of Malcolm, so he says the time has come, or the time is coming, when we shall know what we have won and what we have lost. So we will be able to know our losses and gains. And just speculation, it will give us doubtful hopes of victory. Actual fighting has to decide who is the winner and who is the loser. What is the result going to be? Who is the winner and who is the loser? Actual fighting will do it. So in order to make this happen, in order to decide the results, let's start marching towards Dunsinane. So this is where Act 5, Scene 4 comes to an end. So what is this scene about? It is about the English troops, or Malcolm with the help of the English troops and the deserters in Scotland. Deserters in the sense, those who have deserted Macbeth's side. The lords who have deserted Macbeth's side, they have joined. So this is a combined march against the tyranny of Macbeth. Now let's move to scene 5. Dunsinane, within the castle. So that was at a distance from Dunsinane near Burnham Woods. And this is in Dunsinane itself. So here whom will we see? We will see Macbeth. Enter with drum and colours, Macbeth, Satan and soldiers. Macbeth, hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still, they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie, till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and bet them backward home. What is that noise? So Macbeth gives orders that hoist our flags on the outer walls of the castle. So we are continuously hearing that the soldiers are coming. But our castle is quite fortified, well fortified, strong enough to face a siege. Our castle is strong enough. We can face the siege. Let the enemy come. So let them come here and put up a siege till famine and fever destroy them. See, this is Macbeth's castle. Suppose this is Macbeth's castle. If the enemy comes and surrounds them, so they will be on the outer side of Dunsinane's castle. They wouldn't be able to enter. So what will happen? For a long time they will lay the siege, but once their supplies, food supplies get exhausted, they will be suffering from shortage of food. And not only that, what else? And they will also be suffering diseases. Ague is a type of fever where the person keeps on shaking, like we have malaria. So their siege will result in famine. They're putting up a siege against Macbeth, will result in a famine. That means their lack of food, the food supply will get exhausted, so they will be suffering from famine and ague. Ague means a type of shivering fever. So if you have read about the Battle of Troy, so the Greek army had laid siege on the castle of Troy, and this had continued for 9 years, and till the Greek army or the soldiers had got really exhausted and they wanted to return to Greece. Shortage of food and all that. And whereas the Trojan army, they would come out, they would fight, and then they would, when they saw they were at a disadvantage, they would run inside the castle. And outside the Greek soldiers were suffering. Then they thought of that clever plan of the Trojan, of that horse. But here also, this is what Shakespeare, or rather this is what Macbeth says. Though let them come. Our castle is strong enough to face their attack. So what will happen to them? They will stay outside and they will suffer on account of famine. That means lack of food and disease also. So if the enemy army had not been supported by those who should have been in our side, so whom is he referring to? Those lords who have deserted Macbeth. They should have been on Macbeth's side, but they have deserted him and joined Malcolm's army. So we could have faced them boldly. We could have met them boldly face to face, a straight encounter. We could have done this, but why aren't we able to do it? Because most of the lords have deserted Macbeth's side and they have joined hands with Malcolm, because they feel that Malcolm is the true heir to the throne. He is the rightful heir to the throne and Macbeth is the usurper. And bet them backward home. So we could have driven them back home, back to England. We could have driven the English soldiers back to England if the lords had not deserted me. And then a cry is heard inside, coming from within. What is that noise? Satan. It is the cry of women. My good Lord. So Satan tells Macbeth that The women are crying. So he goes inside to inquire why are the women crying? Macbeth, I have almost forgot the taste of fear. So Macbeth is not afraid anymore. He has forgotten what is fear. The time has been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir as life were in it. I have supped full with horrors, direness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot one start me. So Macbeth remembers that time when he would feel very scared on hearing the cry of an owl at night, and the hair on his head would rise. So it is said that hair has risen on its end means that the person is very frightened. So there was a time when his hair would stand as if they had life, when he was frightened or horrified. So that was in the past. But now he has experienced so much horrors that horror doesn't frighten him anymore. Re-enters Satan. So Satan again enters. Wherefore was that cry? So what was that cry for? Satan, the queen, my lord is dead. My lord, the queen is dead. So he brings a very sad news, shocking news. Queen, Lady Macbeth, she is dead. She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. And then a messenger comes. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly. So Macbeth, when he hears the news of the death of his partner, you can say partner in crime, though she had retired from the criminal activities a long time back, but still it was she who had urged him to the path of crime. And now she has committed suicide. She has died. So Macbeth says that she should have died sometime in future. This is hardly a time for her to die. This is not the appropriate time to receive such a message. See, already he knows that he is at his back is to the wall. And then this news comes to dampen his spirits further. So tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. So one day after another comes on in this daily progress till the last moment is reached. And after that the book of time is closed. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. That means one by one the days pass till the last syllable of recorded time. So till eternity we can say. Till eternity, one by one the days pass. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. So the past days, they only show the foolish people the way to their death. Yeah, every day we are heading one step towards our death. And then out, brief candle. Why dusty death? Because being Christians, they will be buried in the soil. So that is why dusty death. Out, brief candle. So let the candle be extinguished. What does he mean? The candle of life, the flame within us, let it be out. So we find here Macbeth in a pessimistic mood. Life is but a walking shadow. So life is nothing more than a passing phase. So it is rather an illusion. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. So we are like as if we are actors. We are not very good actors. We are poor actors who come and boast in front of the audience, and then he leaves the stage and he is heard no more. No one hears anything about him. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. So life is nothing more than a story told by a fool. A story where there is a lot of noise, where there is a lot of sensation, but it really adds up to nothing. And then a messenger comes and he knows that the messenger must have come with some news. So he is telling that it seems you have come with some news, so speak it out. Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it. So he wants to report something, but he doesn't know how to. Well, say, sir. So say what you have to say. As I did stand my watch upon the hill. So this is how Malcolm has fooled the spy of Macbeth. He has come to report what? As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon, methought the wood began to move. So as he was on guard, he was standing on the hill and was on guard. The moment his glance fell on Burnham Wood, what did he see? He had a feeling that the woods were moving. Actually, the soldiers were moving with the branch of the tree, with the branches of the trees in front of them. And from the hill, the guard felt that the trees were really moving. Liar and slave. So Macbeth is very angry. Not only angry, there is a feeling of fear because he suddenly feels that the prediction of the witches or the prophecy of the witches, are they coming to be true? Burnham Wood's moving. Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming. I say a moving grove. So he tells that, okay, I'm ready to bear your anger if it is proved to be false. That means what I say is the truth. If it is proved to be false, you can vent your anger on me and I'm ready to bear it. Within this 3 miles, so you can go and yourself check and see that the woods have come within the 3 miles of the castle. I say it seems as if the woods are really moving, not trees, but all the trees of the wood, they are moving. If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. So he is threatening, he is telling, if what you have said is false, then I'll hang you in the next tree till you are dead on account of hunger. I will hang you, but you will be hanging alive till you are killed by hunger. But if it is proved to be true, I don't care if you do the same thing to me. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham do come to Dunsinane. And now a wood comes towards Dunsinane. So he remembers the prophecy of the witches. So he now suspects that the witches had told him ambiguous things. The prophecies were ambiguous, double meaning. So his confidence seems to get controlled, restrained, because he suspects the ambiguity, the double meaning prophecies. The devils have told him lies which seem to be true. So now he suspects, have the witches told me lies under the cover of truth? Do not be afraid till Burnham would come to Dunsinane, but they had never told that Burnham wood will really come to Dunsinane. It seemed impossible, but they had not hinted that it could be possible. And now a wood comes toward Dunsinane, arm and out. If this which he vouches does appear, there is nor flying hence nor tarrying here. I begin to be aweary of the sun, and wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell, blow wind, come rack, At least we will die with harness on our back. So this is the brave Macbeth. So he says that let us take up our arms and move towards the battlefield. So he wants to fight because there is no running away for him. Because what the messenger has said, if it is really the truth, then he cannot run away because they have come too close. And remaining here also will not be of any use. And now we find that he is also sick of this life only. Why? His wife is dead. His lords have deserted him. Those who are serving him also, they are showing false loyalty, but they are not loyal to him. They are only serving him because they are employed by him. So he doesn't have any charm left in his life. So rather he wants to die. He is sick of this world and wishes that the world should come to an end. Rather let the universe come to an end. And then he says, ring the alarm bell. And then he invites the wind to blow and bring destruction. And yes, we find the Macbeth, the brave general. So he wants to die with his armor on. That means he wants to die fighting. This is where Act 5, Scene 5 comes to an end. So Act 5, Scene 4 was the English soldiers, how they were advancing towards Dunsinane, and here we find Macbeth. And one important news is Macbeth's wife, Lady Macbeth, is dead, and this dampens his spirit. And another shocking news comes from the messenger, who reports that Burnham Woods are indeed moving towards Dunsinane. So the prophecy on which he had so much faith, they are proving to be false. So Macbeth is a disappointed man. He is lost. He has lost his confidence, but still in the end we find that he is ready to fight. And Scene 6. Scene 6 is a very short scene. The same, a plain before the castle. So plain, level land. So in front of the castle there is a plain, and most probably the soldiers will come and a fight will take place here. Enter with drum and colors. So again it's the English force under the leadership of the Prince of Scotland Malcolm, Macduff, Ross, Angus, Menteith, Caithness, and all. And also Old Seward and his son. Malcolm, now near enough. Your levy screens throw down and show like those you are. You worthy uncle shall with my cousin, your right noble son, lead our first battle. Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon what else remains to do according to our order. So Malcolm starts giving orders as to what they should do. So he says, we have come close enough to the castle. Now there is no need for us to hide our ranks, hide our numbers. So now throw the branches away from you. So now let's expose ourselves. So show your number so that it strikes fear in Macbeth's heart. And now he cannot run away also. And then he tells Old Seward, who is his uncle, that uncle and his worthy son is Malcolm's cousin. So you will lead the first battalion, you will lead the first part of our army. And Macduff and myself, I will take responsibility of the rest in accordance with our plan. So here is Old Seward and his son leading the first part of the battle, and the rest will be led by Malcolm and Macduff. Seward, fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight. So they are going to one side. They will be proceeding first to fight, and the remaining will be under the leadership of Malcolm and Macduff, and they will fight from another side. So Seward bids them farewell, and he says that if we meet the army of Macbeth tonight, tyrant, he doesn't call him by the name, he calls him tyrant. So if we meet the army of Macbeth tonight And if we are unable to put up a brave fight, let us be defeated. So that means he wants to put up a very brave fight before Macbeth's army. And if we don't, let us be defeated. Macduff, make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death. So Macduff says that let us sound our trumpets. So in England or in these battles, they sound trumpets. Whereas if you have read about the Mahabharata war, you will find that those famous warriors, they had their conch shells, which in Hindi we say shank. So they all had their separate conches with different names also. So they would blow it as a harbinger of war, messenger of war. So here it is trumpet. So let us sound our trumpets. So give all your breath to sound the trumpets, which is the messenger of bloodshed and death. So it brings about bloodshed. They are the messengers of bloodshed and death. That means the sound of the trumpets, they are as if alarms that the army under Malcolm has come and is ready to take on Macbeth's army. So this is where the three scenes come to an end. Act 5, Scene 4, Act 5, Scene 5, and Act 5, Scene 6. Scene 6, as I told you, it's very close to the castle of Dunsinane, and now they are rather challenging Macbeth's army. So this little bit of information. And another information we get here is that old Seward and his son will be leading from the front, and the other part of the army, the first half of the army, will be led by old Seward and his brave son, and the remaining part will be led by Malcolm and Macduff. So this is what we get to know in this one. A little bit of recapitulation of Scene 5 is what are the important things. One is the death of Lady Macbeth. Another is the messenger coming and telling that the Burnham Woods are moving towards Dunsinane. And in Act 5, Scene 4, what news do we get? That the English army have arrived and they are close to the Burnham Woods, and Malcolm's plan how to hide their numbers. Each soldier should put a branch in front of him so as to conceal the exact number of their soldiers. This is what you got to know in today's video. This is what you get to know in today's video. So the remaining three scenes will come up soon, maybe in a day or two. And this is how we will sum up Macbeth, because after that we need to discuss the important scenes, or rather the important acts, which you need to focus more. See, since you are having a very short syllabus, you cannot leave in that sense any act. Get prepared, because you don't have to study the whole of Macbeth. You are to study Act 3, 4 and 5. Only 3 acts. In that also don't start making choices. Rather focus on which scenes you have to study more, because there is probability of its coming. But I would advise you don't leave anything. So I think this is enough for today. Bye for the time being.